This boy's name is Kaede Komura, and he likes the girl in his class who has a lot of trouble seeing without glasses, and when he gets to know that she is a little weird, he starts loving her even more. 3 days ago, their class seating arrangement was shuffled, and Komura got a seat just next to Me. One day, she forgets to bring her glasses, and Komura sees that she looks even cuter without them. He goes and sits in his seat, and Mi tells him that she is having some difficulty seeing, so she will look at him by narrowing her eyes. If possible, he should ignore her. Hearing this, Komura gets surprised because till date, Mi has never said anything to a classmate. After some time, the thought crosses his mind. When she can see so little, how did she even get to school? Suddenly, Mi says that this happens to her often, and Komura decides that he will help her as much as he can. During the first period, Mi asks him to find her history book, but when he goes near her to help, he gets a little nervous and offers his own book to her. Mi jumps up to him and asks him to study together, but Komura gets nervous and says that she should study alone. When Mi asks why, Komura is not able to say anything, and in the end, he has to share the book with her. Komura was already nervous, and on top of that, Mi comes very close to him to see the book. Before his nose bleeds, Komura gives her the book. She almost gets into the book, whereas for Komura, being so close to Mi was terrifying. Although he was happy about it, he wanted at least to bring them a little closer to each other. He thought that Mi would probably forget him by the next day when suddenly she comes very close to his face and asks who he is. Komura tells him his name and Mi goes back into the book. After class, she leaves. Komura's heart was beating fast, remembering Mi being so close to him. He remembered that her eyes were so beautiful. Then suddenly, he sees Mi sitting next to the locker and asks her if she needs help tying her shoes. Mi asks who it is. Komura tells him he was sitting next to her in class all day. When she sees him, she recognizes him and tells him that her shoes have suddenly become bigger. Komura sees her locker open and tells Mi that it turns out they actually are her shoes. A few minutes earlier, Mi's friends had found her shoes and offered to drop her home, but Mi was confident she'd find her shoes herself. However, when she opened her locker, she couldn't recognize the shoes inside. She started checking all the lockers and found shoes that looked just like hers in one of them. She apologized for the mess and started taking off her shoes. So Komura decides to help her find her shoes. When he opens her locker, there's a fat frog sitting on her shoes, but Mi thinks they're green and not hers. Komura sees them and tells her to turn back. He chases the frog away, but when he gives Mi the shoes, she realizes a frog was sitting on them. Now Mi wears her shoes and Komura wears his. They were about to leave the school when Mi stops him and tells him that his shoelaces are untied. Komura ties his laces and Mi thanks him and promises that she will definitely repay him one day. Komura started remembering the moments spent with her all day long. Then suddenly, Mi comes very close to him and says that she does not want to forget his face so that when she sees him next time, she can recognize him. But even though she is so close, she still cannot see Komura's face clearly. So she goes back to her village. Actually, Mi's house was just 2 steps away from the school, due to which she didn't need much time to reach school in the morning. There wasn't much of a problem. Komura was feeling bad in the evening, but still he was wishing that Mi would forget her glasses once again. Surprisingly, the next morning, that crazy girl forgets her glasses again. Komura thought that what he had said had come true, but then he hears that Mi had cheated him by stepping on her own glasses. Later, he had his gym class, and Komura was thinking, why is Mi playing the game? She won't even be able to see the ball. And on top of that, Mi was saying that she doesn't even know which team she's on.
Komura starts to wonder, did I accidentally curse Mie last night? He feels guilty, and to make up for it, he stands in front of Mie during the game so that the ball doesn't hit her. Mie also comes very close to him to avoid the ball, due to which Komura is unable to move and ends up getting out first. In the next class, Komura was feeling tired from the gym period, but when he saw Mie reading her book, he forgot all about being tired. The teacher calls out, Mie, stand up. Komura quickly alerts her and says, Mie, the teacher just called you. But to his shock, he finds that the hardworking girl is actually snoring. Komura feels a surge of emotion and thinks she must have been really tired after gym class. On the other hand, the teacher gets annoyed and says again, Mie, I said stand up. Komura tries to wake her quickly. As he extends his hand to touch her, he suddenly becomes nervous. He makes a split-second decision. He tells the teacher she's reading her book really closely because she can't see clearly without her glasses. Surprisingly, the teacher accepts Komura's excuse and says, all right then. But suddenly, Mie wakes up on her own and starts searching for her glasses. She looks around confused, then turns to Komura and says sleepily, Dad, where are my glasses? Komura freezes. Did she just call me Dad? He wonders, making sure she's still talking in her sleep. Then, out of nowhere, Mie leans her head on Komura's shoulder. Komura can't believe it. The girl I like, she's literally sleeping with her head on me. The teacher walks over. The next day, Mie walks into class again. Komura notices and immediately realizes she's forgotten her glasses again. She walks right up to Komura's face, squinting, and says, "I'm wearing contact lenses today. Now I can finally see your face properly." The next day, Komura and Mie were assigned to lens duty together. Once again, Mie forgot her glasses. That day, it was her responsibility to serve food. She was adding way more stew as needed to everyone's bowls. Komura offers to switch places. Mie shakes her head. "No, I'll be fine, but maybe try adding a little less stew." Mie nods determined and starts ladling smaller portions, but in the process, she ends up giving someone just bones in their stew. Another boy comes to collect his food. Mie squints at the meat and says, "Hey, would you like potatoes instead of meat?" The boy laughs and says, "Sure," but because Mie couldn't see well, she ends up giving him the meat anyway. Komura notices and thinks maybe she's saving the meat for herself to eat later. But when the shift is over, Mie comes to Komura with the small serving. She smiles and says, "I gave that boy potatoes on purpose. I saved the meat for you. It's my way of repaying you for helping me the other day." He remembers how she promised to repay him, and let's just not tell anyone about this secret trade. Everyone already saw it happen. Later, they all sit down to eat dinner, and the stew is filled with only potatoes. The kids return to school after a week-long break. As soon as Mie sits down at her desk, she takes out her contact lenses and grumbles, "Oh, how many contact lenses do I even have? They're so useless." She starts struggling to remove them and says, "Especially taking them out of my eyes. I really need to get used to this." Komura sees her struggling and stands up. "You don't have to worry," he says loudly, addressing the class. "We'll all help her. The whole class will." Mie looks at him surprised. "What are you saying?" But then she smiles and says softly, "Thank you."
The next day, Mie arrives wearing her glasses, but Komura still notices something strange. She's squinting again. Komura looks at her, puzzled, and asks, "Why are you squinting if you're wearing your glasses?" Mie sighs and says, "It's a little cold outside. My glasses fogged up." At that moment, another boy enters the classroom, and his glasses are fogged up too. Mie panics and shouts, "A stranger has entered the class." Komura gently and says, "Relax, he's a student from our class." Mie quiets down and starts to wonder out loud, "Do people have trouble recognizing me too?" She trails off, then adds with a small smile, "But as long as Komura can recognize me, I guess it's okay." Komura's eyes widen. She's in contact information. Mie smiles and says, "I often forget my glasses, so maybe I'll need to contact you for help." Komura asks curiously, "Why don't you ask one of your family members?" Mie looks a little embarrassed and replies, "I feel ashamed, but when you're around, I don't worry about anything." Komura walks over to the window and silently thanks God. "I'm so lucky to have such a lovely girl next to me." A few days later, Komura receives a message from Mie asking to meet her at the station. The moment he reads it, he falls out of his bed. He starts pacing, muttering to himself, "Does God want us to become a couple or something?" Later that day, Komura reaches the station and finds Mie waiting. He looks down and continues, "I left my glasses in the train." She looks back up at him. "I have somewhere I need to go urgently. Will you help me get there?" Komura's heart starts racing. This feels like a romantic movie. Mie gently grabs his hand and says, "Come on, let's go." Despite holding hands, Komura somehow manages not to panic. He walks with her to the shop she wanted to visit. We find out that Mie came all this way just to eat cake. Softly, "Do you want me to feed it to you?" The words slip out and Komura freezes. Did I say that out loud? Mie sits there with her mouth open. Komura starts to panic in his head. To react, he picks up a fork and gently feeds her a bite of the cake. After eating it, they proceed to the next shop, and Mie tells Komura, "I've got new lenses being made." While Mie is testing the lenses, Komura starts thinking to himself, "I need to protect the skin of my hand if she touches me again." After regaining focus, he turns to her and says, "Thanks for coming out with me today." He starts to leave, but Mie gently grabs his hand again. She says, "Now that I can see you clearly, I want to go out with you more." They laugh and have fun together before heading back. Just before they part ways, Komura wonders to himself, "Am I dreaming?" He pinches his arm and it hurts. It's real. On the other hand, Mie walks away thinking, "Komura's such a good guy. He didn't complain once." But then she remembers something. "I was only looking at Komura the entire time."
A few days later, Mie comes to class wearing a mask. She says, "I have a cold." Komura watches her and thinks to himself, "Their student is also wearing a mask. That boy also has a cold." The next day, Komura walks into class and sees that Mie has taken off her glasses. She says casually, "I can't see anything anyway, so what's the point of wearing them?" Komura hears her making cat sounds, soft, high-pitched meows. She was doing it so cutely that Komura couldn't resist. He pulls out his phone and quietly starts recording her. But then he sees Mie walking toward a plastic bag. She squats beside it and starts caressing it, mistaking it for a cat. Komura panics internally. To protect her, Komura crouches behind her and starts making cat sounds himself. Mie pets the foil lovingly. On their way to class, Komura sees something that makes him stop in his tracks. His mood darkens instantly. The most popular boy in school, Azuma is helping Mia look for something. Even today, she was searching for her glasses. Azuma gently places his hand on Mia's hand as he passes her something. Komura sees it and feels as if his soul has left his body. They get the missing item, and instead of blaming Azuma, Komura starts blaming himself. Mia deserves someone better, someone who can actually take care of her. Mia blushes a little and says nervously, "Actually, Komura always helps me. I'm so embarrassed." She tries to sound casual, but her voice shakes slightly. Then she notices Komura standing a few feet away. The next day, Mia's friends are buzzing with laughter. One of them says, "This crazy girl forgot her glasses again." Another teases, "You're squinting so much, you're going to get wrinkles on your face." Mia frowns, starting to worry about her future. She tries to raise her eyebrows to smooth it out. Komura enters the class and waves, "Hey Mia," but when she turns around, Komura freezes. She's not wearing her usual expression. Her body language is different. How beautiful her eyes are, he thinks. But unfortunately, the moment doesn't last. Mia blinks confused and mutters, "I can't see anything anyway, so what's the point of wearing them?"
The next day, Mie approached Komura and invited him to play a game of Shiritori. Although Komura hesitated, they began the first round, which Mie won easily, teasing Komura for not trying his best. Feeling challenged, Komura decided to play seriously in the next round and didn't let Mie score a single point. Mie struggled, her brow furrowing until she suddenly called out his name, stopping the game. To their surprise, the entire class had been watching. After school, Komura and Mie were assigned cleaning duty. Komura was happy to spend more time with her. While sweeping, he noticed a cockroach nearby and worried about how to warn Mie without scaring her. He called her over and she came so close they could have kissed right before a classmate screamed at the sight of the cockroach.
Mie jumps in fright and grabs Komura tightly. The next day, it's raining when Komura enters the classroom. He notices Mia squinting with her glasses still on her head. He tells her her glasses are on her head. Mia gasps, realizing she forgot. She tries to put them on but drops them. Komura picks them up and hands them to her. Mia closes her eyes and softly asks if he can put them on for her. Komura hesitates, wondering if she's waiting for a kiss. Instead, he accidentally places the glasses on her lips. His face turns a beet red from embarrassment, but Mie just smiles and thanks him. Later, two girls talk about giving a letter to someone, but one drops it rushing to class. Mie picks it up, wondering what it is. Komura asks what she's doing. She shows him the letter she found, but can't tell who it's for. Komura sees a heart sticker. It's a love letter for Azuma. He tells her it's for Azuma. Mie nods and decides to give it to him. She hands Azuma the letter in class, and the other students stare in disbelief. Komura's heart sinks, wondering if the letter was for Mie. He quietly returns to his seat. Some girls ask Mie if she likes Azuma. Confused, Mie says yes. At that moment, it becomes painfully clear to everyone. Azuma leaves to read the letter. Komura feels like his chest was ripped open. He follows, hoping to see Azuma's reaction. Azuma laughs as he reads it. Komura spirals, wondering if the letter even had a name. Back in class, the girls whisper, hoping Mie and Azuma become a couple. Komura fumes silently, thinking they deserve to be dipped in hot oil in hell. Later, he wonders if he's misunderstanding everything since Azuma has all the traits girls like. Meanwhile, Azuma watches Komura pacing and gets an idea.
Later, Mie notices Komura looking a little down. She walks over and asks if he's crying. Komura quickly wipes his eyes and says he's fine. Suddenly, he blurts out, asking what she thinks about Azuma. Mie looks confused and giggles, saying she likes Azuma. Komura stiffens, surprised at how casually she says it. Then, Mie adds that if everyone had been asking about him instead of Azuma, she thinks she would have understood something. Komura asks why. She replies softly that she's grown attached to him from spending so much time together. Before Komura can respond, Azuma walks over holding a reply letter and hands it to Mie. The shock sends Komura into another spiral. Mie looks at Komura and asks if he can read it for her. Azuma smirks, noting exactly what he's doing. Komura hesitates, wondering what's written inside. He prepares himself and opens the letter. It reads, "I like you too, Komura." Azuma turns and walks away, leaving the class staring. He clears up the misunderstanding with the others. Meanwhile, Komura remains frozen. Mie asks what it says. Everyone waits silently. Komura tries to speak, but no words come out. A few days later, early in the morning, Komura heads out for hot coffee. It's freezing. To his surprise, he sees Mie at the vending machine. He asks what she's doing there. Mie shivers and says she's getting hot cocoa like her mom told her to. She pulls out a can and takes a sip, making a face, calling it bitter. Komura leans closer and explains it's black coffee. Mie asks if she should drink it, then thinks maybe he doesn't like bitter coffee either, so she'll drink it for him. But Komura quickly grabs the can, insisting he'll drink it. He freezes, realizing this might count as an indirect kiss. He backtracks. One day, Komura rushes to school and sees Mie also also running late. He jogs up beside her and greets her, but she doesn't respond. He realizes she probably couldn't see him. At the zebra crossing, he notices her hair is messy and her skirt untied in the back. She's standing behind him. He turns and tells her about her tangled hair and untied skirt. Mie thanks him, but mutters she didn't want him to see her like that. She quickens her pace and walks ahead. Komura is left stunned, wondering if she really just said that.
Later, Komura takes Mie to the infirmary because she fell during gym class and needs to put her glasses back on. She was hurt during the activity, and it was Azuma who suggested Komura take her to the nurse. Komura wonders if Azuma is trying to help him get closer to Mie. At the same time, Mie starts feeling self-conscious. She says she thinks she's gaining weight. Komura looks at her and thinks no matter how much she weighs, his love weighs more. Once at the infirmary, Komura tells Mie to hold on to something while he gets a chair, but when he looks, she's holding a weighing machine. He panics and tells her maybe to stand somewhere else, but it's too late. He's already seen the number. Mie realizes what happened and her face turns red. She mutters, embarrassed. Later, Komura sees Mie trying to pin something to the bulletin board. He asks what she's doing. She replies the teacher asked her to post it. She stands on her toes but still can't reach the top. Komura offers to do it. He tries, but even he can't reach. Then Azuma walks by and sticks it to the board with ease. Komura mutters that he wishes he were taller. Mie says, don't say that. If he were taller, she wouldn't be able to see his face up close. She adds, even if he grows taller, he'll still be him, and she'll recognize him by his voice. She smiles and says he hopes he grows taller anyway. Komura stands overwhelmed, thinking he doesn't want to live if not with her. The next day, Komura is shocked to find Mie crying. He quickly decides it's her personal matter and he shouldn't interfere. Mie turns toward him, sniffling, and says she laughed so hard reading a book with others that she started crying. Komura sighs in relief, but then it hits him that he missed seeing her laugh. Later, he thinks he'll ask someone what she looked like while laughing. At that moment, Mie falls asleep in class. A girl next to her points out a cloud shaped like a bunny. All the kids rush to look, but Mie can't see it. Komura notices her sadness and decides to do something. That night, Komura sends Mie a photo of the cloud. Mie replies that it's beautiful. The next day, Komura is looking for Mie's glasses in the hallway. He mutters to himself how careless she is. Suddenly, a girl calls out that she found Mie's glasses hanging on a bathroom hook. She asks Komura, who sits next to Mie, to give them to her. Without waiting, she places the glasses on his face. Komura's head starts spinning from the strong prescription. He stumbles around, vision warped. Just then, Mie comes around the corner and sees Komura standing very close to another girl. The girl calls out Komura's name. Mie freezes. Komura backs away instantly, apologizing frantically that it's not what it looks like, but his head is still spinning. The next day, Mie comes to class wearing her glasses again. Komura thinks she won't need his help today. Part of him feels relieved, but another part feels heartbroken. He thinks when she comes near, his heart skips a beat. Suddenly, remembering he forgot his book, he asks if he can share hers. Mie happily walks over. When she gets close, she realizes how often they've been this close when sharing a book. Komura blushes and quickly turns away to hide his face.
That weekend, Mie takes Komura to the eyewear store because she needs new glasses. While browsing, Mie looks over different frames and says she can't choose by herself. Her dad usually comes, but this time he's out of town. Komura starts sweating. This is hard. She looks cute in every frame. His thoughts race. I can't even tell which one is best. After thinking deeply, Komura finally says it doesn't really matter which she chooses. She looks good in every frame. Mie looks surprised. Later, she walks up and admits she accidentally fell asleep on the frame and it broke. The next weekend, Komura is out buying ketchup when he notices a shop selling chocolates. He stops and thinks it would be nice if Mie gave him chocolates on Valentine's Day. As luck would have it, Mie is in the same shopping district. Komura hears his name called and turns to see Mie. He's surprised and asks how she got there without her glasses. Mie says she knows the area well, so no problem. Then she asks what he was doing there. Komura panics. If I tell her the truth, it'll sound like a confession. He notices Valentine's Day decorations everywhere. Mie looks around and asks if they're renovating because of all the red. Komura quickly says he came to get groceries. At the store, Mie says she needs mayonnaise. Komura blushes. Shopping like this feels like we're married. Before he can say anything, they overhear a staff member announcing free chocolate samples. Komura starts to ask Mie if she wants to try some, but stops, realizing they're Valentine's chocolates. He pulls her aside nervously and says, "Let's go somewhere else." Mie is surprised, but follows. She says his hands are warm, then smiles and says chocolates taste best with cold hands. Komura hesitates and asks if she's making chocolates this year. Mie nods, saying, "Of course, Valentine's Day is coming." She looks around and says she gets it now. The red decorations make sense. Komura tries to change the topic, but Mie asks directly if he wants her to give him chocolates. Komura freezes. What do I say? Meanwhile, Mie wonders if Komura even likes her. She thinks maybe if she makes chocolates for everyone, she can give him some without it being obvious. Komura mentally prepares for the worst, thinking he'll survive off old chocolates from friends. Valentine's Day arrives. Komura watches quietly as Mie gives chocolates to everyone. Eventually, she walks up to him, but when she looks in her bag, her expression falls. She apologizes, saying she forgot to bring his chocolates. Komura smiles weakly and says it's okay. She can give it to him next year. He watches her walk away, feeling a sting in his chest. I don't want to be a once-a-year friend, he thinks. I need to tell her how I feel. But then he remembers how she looks, how flustered he gets, and freezes. Suddenly, Mie approaches again and asks if they can talk after school.
After school, Mie meets Komura just like she said. She stands in front of him and says she wanted to give him something so he wouldn't feel left out. She nervously fiddles with her hands, then admits her mind was blank and pockets empty. So instead, she offers to let him ask her to do any one thing he wants. Komura's eyes widen. Any one thing? His heart pounds as he stares at her. He tries to speak, wanting to confess something important, but doubt washes over him. What if it ruins everything? What if it breaks their friendship? Still, this might be the perfect chance since she can't see his face clearly. He tries again, but words fail him. In the end, he says sorry and promises to tell her another time when she can see his face properly. Mie smiles softly and says she'll wait. Komura wonders if she already knows what he wanted to say. Then Mie pulls something from her bag and hands it to him. A cap. He looks at her, realizing she hasn't figured it out yet. A month later, Mie steps on a scale and gasps, exclaiming she weighs as much as a baby elephant. At school, Komura hands her a small box and wishes her a happy white day. But Mie seems down, sighing she ate too many chocolates on Valentine's Day and is quitting sweets. She tells Komura seriously to stop her if she sees her eating anything sweet. He agrees, but then realizes he can't give her chocolates now. Azuma walks over and casually gives Mie a small box, wishing her a happy white day. Mie opens it and sees chocolates. She pulls out a cough tablet and pops it in to hide the taste. Komura raises an eyebrow and says that's not medicine, it's chocolate. Mie freezes and puts the box away. Later, Komura watches her eyeing another chocolate. He tells her to stop just as she's about to eat it. She claims she couldn't see it properly. Another boy gives her a chocolate. Komura narrows his eyes. Finally, Mie picks one more chocolate. Komura relents, telling her to eat that one. She smiles and thanks him. The next morning, Komura sees Mie proudly showing off a Sweets Point card for discounts. She says she needs to mail it after school, but the closest mailbox is somewhere new to her. Komura worries she'll get lost and offers to go with her. Mie looks surprised, but agrees. At that moment, some boys invite Komura to a new arcade. His eyes light up, but he remembers Mie's request. He tells them he already has plans. The boys shrug and leave, but Mie looks unhappy. Later, she gives off a cold, distant vibe and tells Komura he doesn't have to help anymore and should just go home. Komura insists he wants to come. Mie lies that she already bought new lenses. He sees through the excuse, but lets it slide. Later in class, the teacher asks Mie to read aloud. Komura worries she can't see clearly. Mie focuses hard but hesitates on some words. She thinks if she messes up, Komura will insist on helping. Each difficult word makes her pause and squint harder. After class, some girls ask Mie to come with them. Mie hesitates, worrying Komura might feel left behind. She shakes her head and runs off before Komura can follow. His friends stop him, saying a new game just came out and asking if he'll skip it. Komura thinks about going, but then Mie's face flashes in his mind.
Meanwhile, Mie went to another class. She admitted that being alone was quite difficult for her, but she also wanted Kuruma to hang out with his friends. Then Kuruma appeared in front of her and made an excuse that he was also going out and said, "Come, let's go together." Mie said she hadn't gone out, but in the end, she admitted that she was having trouble seeing. After that, she told him that she didn't want Kuruma to not have fun with his friends because of her. Kuruma realized that she had been worried about him all day. Then Mie told him that she really liked being with him and that she even wanted Kuruma to be only hers. Hearing this, Kuruma was stunned. Mie changed the topic and said she would go alone to the post box, but Kuruma insisted that no, he would go with her because he cared about her. Finally, Mie dropped her card in the post box near the school. Later, Mie asked if Kuruma liked playing arcade games, to which he replied that sometimes he really liked getting lost alone in games. After he left, Kuruma realized that he also wanted Mie to be only his. His work was a bit early, so he went to play arcade games with his friends. A few weeks later, their school year-end ceremony took place. Kuruma thought the year had passed in the blink of an eye. Then he saw Mie, who was dozing off while standing in line. The teacher was calling the names of the students with 100% attendance. Kuruma and Mie were called up to the stage, but while they were going, Kuruma overheard some children saying that Mie looked like an old lady. Then Kuruma remembered that he had gotten used to squinting at Mia's face, but if she went on stage like that, people would make fun of her more. Mie told Kuruma that seeing so many people made her a little scared. Kuruma decided that he should do something to ease her tension. He told her about a point on her palm which, if pressed, would loosen her nerves. Mie said go ahead, press it, but said that it only tickled her.
He is feeling tense, so she says that if he thinks about something good, his mind will feel lighter. Komura is called on stage to receive an award. He becomes nervous and starts thinking only Mie comes to his mind. He realizes that his year passed so quickly because he was thinking about only Mie all the time. Later, they go to class where they find out about their new seating arrangement. Komura gets the same seat he had before. On the other hand, Mie gets a front seat, and that too beside Azuma. Komura thinks that Azuma will help him and reassures himself that he is not jealous. Meanwhile, Komura is lost in his thoughts when his new seat partner comes and sits beside him, wondering what kind of boy Komura is. During this time, Mie asks Azuma where Komura is sitting. He tells her that Komura is sitting right where he was before. Mie immediately turns around and looks back, and Komura feels a little shy. Then a girl comes and says that Mie is sitting in her seat. Mie looks carefully and realizes that she has sat in the wrong seat. Azuma helps her, and Komura's breath catches because she is so close to him. When Azuma holds Mie's hand, Komura almost loses his life. Her new seat partner tries to talk to her, but she completely ignores her. When Komura sees Mie sitting beside another girl, he feels a little relaxed. Then, he introduces himself to his seat partner. Mie looks at him again, and Komura blushes. Because of all this, his new seat partner gets up and asks Mie to switch seats. Mie immediately agrees, and Komura is shocked because he thought Mie would sit near the board. Mie comes and sits beside him and explains that she doesn't want the teacher to catch her sleeping in the middle of the class, and if she keeps looking back, the teacher will scold her.
Komura can't believe his ears, but can't ask if she came to sit by him for that reason. A few days later, their art teacher asks everyone to sit in pairs so that they can draw each other's portraits. As usual, Mia forgets her glasses, but Komura is determined to buy whatever drawing Mia makes and hang it on his door. Mia comes close to see properly, but when she feels this method isn't working, she tells Komura that she will draw based on her imagination. Komura feels a little nervous about the result, but surprisingly, Mia's drawing was decent. Unfortunately, the teacher doesn't allow her to keep that drawing. Later, Mia goes to the bathroom and another girl comes inside and starts talking casually. Then she comes very close to Mia and praises how long her eyelashes are and compliments her skin. Mia feels very awkward at that time, and even when she remembers that moment sitting in class, she still feels uncomfortable. When Komura comes near her, as usual, Mia comes close to him, but as soon as she remembers the bathroom moment, she immediately moves back. A few days later, Komura is running home fast, and when he reaches, we find out that he has brought Mia's glasses with him. Actually, half an hour ago, Mia had taken off her glasses, and at that time, her friend asked her to go somewhere with her. Mia went with her but forgot her glasses there. When Komura returned to his seat, he saw Mia's glasses lying there. At first, he panics, but then remembers he has Mia's number, so he immediately texts her. Mia tells him to leave the glasses there, but Komura worries it might get misplaced, so he suggests taking it with him. Mia agrees, and Komura carries Mia's glasses in his bag as if he's hiding some stolen underwear. Seeing his strange behavior, his mother thinks it's the effect of his growing youth. Later, he puts the glasses on the shelf and tries to study, but can't focus at all because it feels like Mia herself is sitting there in place of the glasses. He goes near the door and takes out some tissues to try wiping it. Actually, he wanted to wear them and look like Mia, but as soon as her face comes to his mind, he feels shy. Meanwhile, Mia was studying with her spare glasses. While cleaning them, she wonders if Komura's glasses will be clean too. Meanwhile, Komura has polished her glasses completely when he gets a call from Mia. Nervously, he picks up the phone and Mia asks if his glasses are behaving like good kids. Komura thinks that he has polished Mia's good kids glasses. Mia then says that since the glasses are there, it feels like she herself has come to his house. Komura starts daydreaming again that Mia is sitting right there. Even after putting down the phone, he still sees her sitting there, and because of that, he can't sleep the whole night.
Weeks pass, and the glasses talking has become Mii's routine. One day, when she goes near Komura to look at him, she slips and falls on him. She apologizes for being so close and says she has done the same with someone else once, and at that time, their lips even touched. Hearing this, Komura goes into shock, but then Mii clarifies that it was actually her father. Komura worries that Mii might have noticed how shy he was, but Mii herself is busy explaining that she's not a bad girl. Komura wonders if maybe Mii is also embarrassed, but pushes the thought away. One day, a girl tells Mii that her hair is a little tangled, but she didn't have time to fix it in the bathroom. The girl says not to worry because it looks cute, but Mii doesn't agree. Komura sees how much this bothers her and guesses that she won't easily listen to anyone. Suddenly, Mii asks Komura what he thinks. Komura reassures her that she looks fine, and Mii immediately agrees. Komura wonders if he's dreaming. Later, Mii notices that Komura has pain in his shoulder and asks if she can massage it. Komura panics and refuses, but seeing her innocent face, he agrees. While Mii massages his shoulder, Komura controls his feelings well. Mii massages very well, and as soon as she finishes, she immediately goes to write something about shoulder massage in her diary. When Komura asks what she is doing, she says she wants to note down all the things she can do for Komura even without glasses. Then Mii smiles sweetly and says she can do anything for him with the glasses on. One day, Mii comes to class and sees Komura sleeping like a horse. She tries to wake him for the next period, but when he doesn't wake, she sits in front of him and starts playing with his hand. Suddenly,
Komura wakes and his face is completely red, as if he was seeing her in a dream. Mie explains that she wanted to see clearly by wearing glasses, but suddenly got embarrassed and to even out the stakes says, "You can look at me as much as you want," but Komura immediately refuses. On a rainy day, Komura meets Mie while going to school. He is angry at himself for forgetting his glasses even in this weather, which made his feet get stuck in the mud. When they reach school, Mie's wet socks are bothering her. She asks Komura to turn so she can change her socks. When she takes off her socks, Komura sees her bare feet and quickly turns his face so he doesn't get his shoes sticky like her socks. A few days later, Komura sees Mie sitting alone on a swing and wonders why she is there alone. She tells him she forgot her house keys and is waiting for her mother. Then she asks Komura to push the swing for her. Komura is shocked, thinking whether it is okay to touch a girl's back without marrying her, but still, he starts pushing the swing. Then he remembers she is wearing a skirt and people are coming from the front, so he immediately stops the swing and makes an excuse that the wind stopped the swing. At that moment, he sees their faces very close. Komura jumps over to her side and Mie assures him she is wearing pants under her skirt. One day, Komura drops some money from his bag in school, and when Mie picks it up, Komura worries that she might think he is a big fool for betting money on games. Mie asks what kind of card it is.
Komura lies, saying that is just an Apple card. Later, during lunch, Komura feels bad for lying to Mie, but Mie is lost in her own thoughts. Suddenly, Mie offers him a slice of apple, but because of the guilt over the lie, Komura says, no, I'm full. That night, Komura suddenly gets a call from Mie, who thought she had called one of her female friends. When she realizes that she mistakenly called Komura, she apologizes for waking him up so late, but Komura immediately says that he was already awake. Mie then hangs up, but calls again after just a few seconds. Komura says, tell me what happened, I will help. She tells him she stayed over at a friend's house and had to go to the bathroom without her glasses. She didn't know it would be so dark, so she gave up and called her friend. By mistake, the call went to Komura. Komura asks if she can see any light switches nearby. Mie checks and mumbles that even her Raven light switch is stuck. Komura thinks about her pajamas, and then Mie asks him to play some songs for her. They had watched a scary movie before sleeping, so she was a little scared. Komura starts to say the school prayer, which Mie finds very funny. Suddenly, Komura hears his mother's voice and quickly pretends to be asleep. Mie wonders why he suddenly went quiet and starts calling his name, so Komura whispers in the phone. Mie is a little surprised. Meanwhile, Komura's mom leaves and Komura starts talking normally again. Mie is still teasing him to sing the school prayer. Komura then suggests turning on the phone's torch, and finally, Mie manages to reach the bathroom. Komura wonders what will happen next, but Mie says she will mute herself. Before muting, she presses Komura's name in the phone, and hearing that, Komura falls off the bed. Later, Mie reaches her bedroom and apologizes for disturbing him so late. Komura says it's no problem. He was awake anyway and wishes they could talk all night. Komura thinks about Mie, pulls his quilt up while Mie sleeps hugging her friend. A few days later, Komura worries about Mie at the pool because she didn't bring her glasses. He wonders how people with glasses swim. Then he sees Mie wearing goggles and thinks they must be prescribed. A boy tells Komura he is staring at Mie too much. Meanwhile, Mie's friend whispers something in her ear, making her shy. One day, while going home, Komura comes out of a store and sees Mie eating ice cream. Mie says don't tell anyone. Komura stares at her lips and sees she has won a prize. Before she throws it away, Komura stops her, and the situation gets a bit awkward. Komura quickly explains that she actually won the prize. Mie asks if Komura feels happy when he wins, and Komura says yes. Then Mie happily gives him the stick and walks away.
The next day, Komura waits for Mie at the school front gate. He notices a cat and thinks about following it, but when he reaches behind the gym, he sees Ajuma with the girl and quickly hides before they see him. Before he can scare the cat away, they already hear the cat's meow. Meanwhile, Mie also comes that way looking for the cat. Seeing her, Komura sweats, thinking what she would think if she saw him in this position. Luckily, the cat goes to Mie. When the cat clings to Mie's feet, Komura thinks he wishes he were that cat. Then, Mie hears someone's love confession and goes silent for a second, but immediately starts petting the cat again. Komura wonders if she isn't interested in all this, and what her reaction will be when he proposes. At that moment, just when a girl was about to propose to Ajuma, Komura pulls Mie to himself. Mie almost apologizes to Komura for coming between them, and Komura realizes Mie isn't completely foolish. She understands these things too. Meanwhile, Ajuma directly rejects that girl. In the next class, kids split into groups to discuss school trip projects. The boys see Komura following Mie again and ask why he doesn't join her group. Komura says that's not the case, but then they start saying he should leave before something happens again. Komura starts thinking about not forgetting his classes. He wonders if everyone looks at Mie and him with anger like this. The boys start laughing with open mouths. Komura admits that he also needs to join Mie's group, but doesn't have enough courage to join the group alone. Luckily, 6 people can be in one group, so the other boys also agree to join Mie's group with him. Still, Komura will have to to ask. Meanwhile, Mie is caught looking at Komura, so the girls say, "This time, don't forget your glasses." Mie says that this time she will keep an extra pair in her bag from home. She asks why, if she has an extra pair, she doesn't always bring it. Mie says she likes to keep one pair at home. Then a girl teases Mie, asking why she doesn't invite Komura to join them because he's been staring at her for so long. Mie says she wants Komura to come with them. At that moment, Komura comes near their group. The girl takes responsibility and says she will tell all the boys to join their group so Komura can help Mie on the trip. She also says Mie spends money like water and often gets lost in her thoughts, so they will really need Komura. Mie says they can't just tell them not to join like that, but Komura says he actually came there to join their group. Mie says she will be very happy. When the groups merge, Mie asks why Komura thought of joining their group. Komura says, "I just wanted us to go together." Mie says she was thinking the same and can't wait now. After that, they all discuss trip plans together. That night, Mie searches for her spare glasses and puts them in her bag when she finds them. She tries to sleep, but can't, thinking about how everyone considers her foolish and worries she might cause trouble for Komura on the trip. The next morning, Komura runs into class and says he is very excited for the trip, so he was late. Soon, Mie arrives and says she fell and broke her glasses, but luckily brought her spare pair. She gets on the bus, and while everyone waits, she takes out her spare glasses. Komura says he is already getting nervous, but Mie says she wants to enjoy the day fully. However, when she wears her glasses, she realizes that they are fake ones she bought just for love. The real ones are still on her bed. Later, at the museum, Komura realizes Mie secretly took her fake glasses and won't be able to write the report because she is pretending she can see.
Komura thinks if he tells her, she might get upset. Just then, Mie stumbles and Komura catches her. Then he finds an exhibit where writing a report will be easy and takes her there. When Mie realizes Komura understands, she feels bad about forgetting her glasses. Komura tells her she didn't actually forget. Then he says he likes helping her. Mie thanks him and says he can go see other exhibits. Komura thinks maybe Mie got tired of his silly talks and drove him away, and the thought makes him want to cry. Later, Mie joins another student group and apologizes for the mistake. She sits alone, but Komura finds her. Mie had texted him for help, meaning she wasn't tired of his company. Mie apologizes for insisting on doing things herself and causing trouble for others. Komura says no problem, but Mie starts crying, sniffling, saying she can't always depend on him. They sit down and Mie keeps apologizing, saying she always becomes a headache for him. Komura, meanwhile, thinks about how to tell her he thinks the opposite. He remembers all the moments spent with her and wonders how to comfort her. Then he confesses that he wants Mie to forget her glasses every day. When Mie asks why, Komura moves close to her and says he really likes helping her, so she needn't worry. But Komura wonders if Mie started to hate him because after the confession, she hasn't said anything. However, Mie, hiding her face, tells Komura that he is very nice and places her hand on his. She says she can't believe it. Mie says, "Are you happy that I bother you?" Meanwhile, Komura had turned completely red. The next day, Mie was remembering Komura's words and felt that maybe he really just wanted to help her. She decided she would stop depending on him and from today would wear contact lenses every day. When Komura came, he tried to talk about the confession from yesterday, but Mie stopped him and said she would now try her best not to depend on him. She'd still forgotten to bring her glasses today, but she would force herself to wear the contact lenses. Hearing this, Komura was happy and went to sit in his seat. Later, her friend said that Mie shouldn't be so tense about forgetting her glasses every day. Then, Ashoka, one of her friends, got a message from a boy. Mie asked if he was a close friend. Ashoka ran out of the class. Another girl said Ashoka was definitely in love. Mie didn't understand, so the girl reminded her of Ashoka's face when she was reading that boy's message, saying he must be very special to her. Later, Mie thought about being in love and said she didn't understand all this love and affection. She was going to the teacher when she met Komura, who started asking about the contact lenses. She mumbled that she didn't like them and preferred Komura's help. Suddenly, Mie pulled Komura close and asked him to look into her eyes. She was surprised at how happy Komura looked, but then realized she had seen the same look on Ashoka's face. She ran away from there and on the way home wondered if she was special to Komura like that boy was to Ashoka. If yes, then that was very good, because Mie also felt the same way for Komura. Like every day, Mie again forgot to bring her glasses. Komura suggested she share his book. Today, Mie seemed in a very good mood. She had even tied her hair in a ponytail. Suddenly, Mie came close to him and tried to look carefully at his face. When Komura asked what she was doing, she ran away without saying anything. A girl came and asked if Komura was kissing Mie.
Luckily, Komura's old partner defended him, saying that whenever Mie forgets her glasses, she acts like that. The girl was disappointed that they hadn't kissed yet. Komura started wondering if the whole class thought the same about him and Mie. When Mie returned, she again tried to come close to Komura, but he stepped back,
saying he was sick. Mie immediately took a mask from her bag and gave it to him. When he wore it, she started staring at him again. In music class, Mie was glaring at him, and Komura was worried about what Lang would think. At one point, he even wondered why she was staring at his ugly face. During gym, the same girl was troubling Komura about the failed kiss, and Mie got annoyed supporting him. While thinking about all this, he stumbled on the basketball and hit his head on the ground. Everyone rushed to him. He was taken to the nurse's office. When the nurse left, Mie thanked Komura for coming with her. Komura thought about people misunderstanding him and blushed. Mie was still staring at him. Suddenly, she asked what he does on weekends. Komura got surprised, but said he liked playing games in the arcade. Mie said her dad didn't let her go alone, but sometimes she sneaked out. Then she said she just wanted to talk to Komura because he had been hanging out for a long time with the girl with white hair. Komura then realized he was unknowingly ignoring Mie, and without glasses, she must be having trouble alone. Mie asked if when she forgot her glasses, could she look carefully at his face once a day. When Komura asked why she wanted to look at his face, she got restless. She said it was okay if he didn't want her to come.
But Komura said he had no problem. He said she could look at his face as much as she wanted. Hearing this, Mie got excited, held his face, and stared at him directly. Later, they cleaned the glasses together. When Mie put the broom in the locker, her hair got stuck in the locker door. When Komura told her, Mie suggested she should cut her hair with scissors, so Komura offered to cut her hair, opening the door but the hair. She could have pulled them out by opening the door anyway. When she went to cut Mie's hair, Komura was very nervous, but Mie assured him that she was used to cutting her own hair. Mie asked if he liked her hair long, but Komura didn't listen to her and cut it anyway. Later in class, Mie was tying her hair and accidentally dropped the rubber band. Komura immediately bent down to pick it up. So Mie said, "You tie it then." Komura carefully started tying her hair, and Mie looked really happy. Mie said she wished Komura would tie her hair every morning. Komura asked if she meant at school, to which Mie said no. Once again, Komura was stunned. A few weeks later, on a rainy day, the students were preparing for the cultural festival, and Mie came to help Komura. Komura said she looked like she had come from a coal mine, so Mie quickly wiped the dirt off her face. Then she asked if he wasn't resting, to which Komura replied that he would rest after finishing his work. Mie sat back beside him, and Komura wondered if his work was done, especially when she asked to help. Unfortunately, without glasses, she messed up all the calligraphy. Komura suggested he glue the papers, and Mie just had to stick them. Even then, Mie glued the wrong sides of the pages together. Komura gave her another task so he could get rid of her, and reluctantly Mie agreed. She told him to inform her when he went for a break. Komura wasn't smart enough to realize she wanted to go on a break with him. Then he noticed the glue had run out, so he went outside to get some. Mie suddenly followed him. When they reached the empty art prep room, Mie quickly pulled him inside to spend time alone. She told Komura not to turn on the light and said she wanted to see him properly. Komura agreed, but when he realized he wouldn't be able to control himself for long, he suggested going somewhere else. However, Mie stopped him, saying no one was there, so the place was perfect. Hearing that, Komura's breath caught. He wondered if this was why she wanted to break, but convinced himself he was overthinking. Mie started her staring session, and Komura thought she was calming her nervousness by looking at his face. But when he noticed her face was completely pink, he wondered if he was special to her. When they returned to class, Anjuma told Komura his face was completely black, and the girls told Mie her hands were totally black. Komura said it wasn't what they thought.
That night, Komura's mom suggested he get his ears pierced for the cultural festival, but Komura refused, saying he wasn't as cool as other kids who would look good with it. He thought all that would suit cool boys like Azuma, and he should just cover his face with a paper bag. Suddenly, Komura noticed Mie sitting on the floor and asked what happened. Mie said she lost a tiny bead, but when she found it, Komura saw it looked like an earring. He wondered if Mie liked piercings because he had never really seen her ears. Class started, and Komura suggested sharing books, but he actually wanted to see her earring closely. He tried to look, but Mie caught him, and he quickly turned away. Later in art class, Mie showed him her earring, but hadn't pierced her ear. Komura asked what she was doing with the beads, and she said she wanted to use them for the flapjack's eyes in the cultural festival presentation. Komura smiled because this was one of the reasons he loved her. Then he noticed Mie holding a needle and told her to be careful. Mie pointed out how scary it must be to get ears pierced, but that earrings looked cute. Komura said his family wanted him to get his ears pierced too. Mie put a bead on his ear and said it might look cool, but since it wasn't visible properly yet, she wasn't sure. On the other hand, Komura turned bright red just hearing this, and once home, immediately searched online about how to get ears pierced. The next day, students continued preparing for the festival, but Mie was sad she couldn't stay late due to her curfew. Her friend Asuka told her, sometimes you should listen to yourself too, but Mie said if she does that, she won't get cocoa the next morning. Later, Asuka asked the volunteers who could stay until 7. Komura volunteered. Just as they started working, the white-haired girl came to Komura and asked if he and Mie had kissed yet. Before Komura could say anything, Mie arrived and insisted that she wanted to stay with them too. Komura thought maybe she was lying just to go home with him, but he slapped himself mentally and thought that couldn't happen. Then Mie and Komura started working.
But Komura noticed something was off. Mie said she was nervous because she'd never stayed so late at school before. After half an hour, Komura thought Mie should go home. Suddenly, he found Mie's phone lying on the floor and saw many missed calls from her mom. When Mie returned from the gym, Komura was nowhere to be found because he was hiding behind the curtain. He watched as she checked her mom's missed calls. Finally, Mie decided to go home and ran out of the gym. Komura felt bad for her and followed to make sure she was okay. Mie couldn't find her locker again, so she left wearing just gym shoes. Komura picked up her shoes and decided to return them. On his way to her house, he tried to think of an excuse for why he suddenly came there with her shoes. But when Mie stopped on the way and started crying, Komura changed his mind. He felt bad and worried he'd get scolded and wouldn't get cocoa in the morning.
At home, Mia's mom scolds her, and just then there's a knock on the door. When Mia's mom opens it, Komura is there holding Mia's shoes, saying he accidentally wore her shoes and that's why she was late. After Komura leaves, Mia's mom calms down and tells her to eat. Meanwhile, Komura is very nervous about suddenly showing up at her house. All he wanted was to get cocoa in the morning. The next day, Mia comes to school wearing glasses. She tells how her glasses had a scratch while drinking cocoa, which makes Komura happy because his plan worked and no one knew she went home. On the day of the cultural festival, Komura is carefully reading Mia's diary. It just has daily things that happened with her, but Komura would give her a Booker Prize for it. Later, he goes to check out her flapjack and finds it very cute. When he hears Mia's voice behind him, he moves away so he doesn't look creepy, but notices Mia also staring at his exhibit. Komura gets nervous because it was just a normal circle, but Mia found it very cute. Later, students sit in the gym for the last presentation and Mia leaves. Komura decides to go outside, and when Mia sees him, he tells him to sit with her. Mia says she read his diary and found him very thoughtful. Suddenly, she turns his face toward her, making Komura nervous that someone might see them. Mia says everyone is in the gym. Komura asks why she wants to see him so closely when she's wearing glasses. Mia starts feeling bad, thinking she's demanding too much from Komura, but Komura just wants to know what she likes about his face. Mia says looking at his face gives her peace, but she will try to stop this habit. Komura says she really doesn't mind and even wants to do it too. Mia says then do it, and this time Komura places his hand on her face and gets lost in her eyes. Mia's beauty was so overwhelming that he couldn't look at her for long and pulled his hand away. Mia says he's just like her dad, which makes Komura wonder if she only sees him as her dad. Mia then tells him to get going. After the festival, students have to fill a survey about their future. Mia asks Komura what he wants to become, but when Komura realizes he hasn't thought about his future, he refuses to answer. Mia says she wants to share her dream and starts scrolling on her phone. Actually, as a child, she wanted to marry her dad. When she shows Komura her photo, he immediately gets shy. He asks how old she was in the photo, and hearing her age, he gets shocked. Mia blushes and says she will tell him more. She won't show the photo. Komura asks what her dream is now, and she says she wants to keep a fish and get married, but not to her dad. Komura feels sad because Mia had already told him that he looks like her dad, and her dream broke even before it could begin. Mia changes the subject and starts talking about the omelet rice she made a few days ago and shows its photo. When Komura looks at it, he asks if she made a hand on it. Mia immediately blushes and says no, it's just a shape. That night, Komura looks for his preschool photo album to find out what his dream was back then. When he sees government employee written, he realizes that as a child he had
chosen his dream over the bed. Actually, he was just passing life until he fell in love with Mia. He goes to eat and tries to make the same shape Mia had made. When his mom asks if he made a leaf or a hand, Komura gets shy and says it's a hand. Then he starts thinking how Mia's omelet rice would taste and imagines her sitting right beside him. Suddenly, he realizes what his dream is. Next day at school, Komura writes that he wants to become Mia's husband in the future, but feels it's weird and starts erasing it. Just then, Mia comes and sees the word husband and asks whose it is. Komura tries to save face and says it's nobody special. Mia teases him and goes back to her seat. In the next period, Mia is grouped with Azuma for cooking class, and Komura, jealous, is throwing a dark shadow. He wants to taste Mia's cookies too, but her partner seems like she wants to throw Komura out the window. When Komura sees Azuma getting close to Mia, he thinks, why don't I just eat myself? Actually, Azuma is teaching Mia to make cookies like an arcade token and tells her that Komura will like them anyway. Mia asks how Azuma knows she's for Komura. Another boy starts talking to Mia, and Komura thinks the whole class is lining up for his future wife. Mia asks the boy what else Komura likes in the game parlor and if the coin making idea is bad. The boy says no problem. Azuma teases Mia about working slowly, but Mia doesn't get what he means. Azuma then shows her the cookies he made for the girl sitting next to him. Mia understands that he likes that girl and asks how old she is. Azuma says he likes older girls like Mia so she won't talk to him. Then he says he borrowed Mia's idea and used the cookies as a way to get close to that girl. Mia asks if it's really necessary to confess. Azuma says if he doesn't confess, how will he get a chance? Later, Mia says goodbye to Azuma and Komura is sweating with jealousy. Other girls ask what she was talking to Azuma about, but Komura doesn't want to hear it and goes outside. On the way, Mia suddenly grabs his hand and stops him. Komura panics, thinking she ran after him and brought water for him. Mia's happy she reached him and asks if Komura thinks she's getting slower even after wearing glasses. Komura doesn't say anything, so Mia puts cookies in his hand. Now, Komura finally breathes easy. Mia shyly says she really wanted Komura to eat them. Komura wonders why she's acting weird, but when she gets sad about being slow and everything, Komura reassures her that it's good she understands things slowly. The situation gets a bit awkward, but Komura says he liked the cookies. At home, he tries to recall Mia's picture from his memory. He checks his old photos and finds an embarrassing school photo. Next day, the photo accidentally falls on the ground and a friend sees it. Komura explains it just fell from outside. Mia also wants to see the photo, but unfortunately forgot her glasses again today. Komura decides to keep this photo in his temple because Mia touched it so much. After school, Mia and Komura go home together. Mia asks to stop at the park, and when they arrive, she says she'll need her glasses and runs back to get them. While she's gone, Komura wonders if this is like a date after school, but then he thinks about the embarrassing photo. He starts practicing to look cool when he remembers the embarrassing photo. Mia comes back and asks to see the first photo again. Then Komura remembers he left his photo back at school. Mia gets sad, so she asks Komura to do the same trick again, the one that made him fall. The first time he falls, but on the next try he succeeds. Mia runs over and takes a photo with him. She says she'll send it to him, but asks him not to show it to anyone else. Then she tries the trick repeatedly too, but falls just like Komura. However, even a glimpse of her shots was enough to make Komura's nose bleed. Next day, Mia comes with her fake glasses again and asks Komura to wear them. Nervous, Komura puts them on. So Mia tells him to take a selfie so she can look at it later. But when she goes to take out her phone from her bag, she finds her glasses, and finally, the double battery becomes a single power. Then Mia becomes exactly the way Komura likes her. The girl styles Mia's hair in a new way. During swimming class, Komura keeps staring at Mia and wonders how she'll manage her hair. At lunch, Komura notices her hair is completely tangled and tells her there's even a grain of rice stuck in it. Mia panics and ties it up. By the next period, Mia's hair was still wet, so her textbook also got completely wet. Mia apologizes and says she'll tie her hair from now on. Komura asks her to do it like before.
Mie is a little shocked but runs to her friend and comes back with the same hairstyle. After school, Mie asks Komura what kind of fish he likes. He says salmon, while Mie likes flapjack fish. Then suddenly she gets upset and asks what kind of clothes Komura likes. But then she changes her mind and says she'll find out herself and walks away. As Komura starts leaving, he hears a noise of Mie bumping into someone. The boy says he's Mie's old classmate, but Mie says she can't see his face without her glasses. Next day, Mie forgets her glasses again, so Komura offers to share his textbook. Mie can't focus on studying and says she doesn't remember what her old classmate looked like. She says maybe it's because she always forgets her glasses, and Komura realizes that he spends most of his time with the glassesless Mie, so maybe he's forgetting her face too. After class, Komura and a girl take copies to the staff room. On the way, Komura talks about Mie forgetting her glasses. The girl says he's acting like her dad. Later, the teacher says exams are coming after their entry. Mie asks Komura to walk home together. On the way, Komura says he'll have to study during holidays. Mie asks if he won't go anywhere during the holidays. Komura says he'll go on vacation with his family. Hearing this, Mie gets a little sad. He tells her he won't be with her now, so she has to take care of her glasses herself. Mie says she will. Next day, Mie comes wearing glasses and says she found a photo of her classmate. Komura asks what kind of boy he was. Mie says he used to tease her all the time for forgetting her glasses. Then Komura thinks about what he can do, so Mie never forgets him.
After school, Mi suggests they go home together, but things get really awkward. They stop at the park and Mi tries to climb a bar but suddenly remembers she's not wearing shoes. They switch places and Mi tells Komura to come inside. Komura gets a little nervous because the place is tight, but Mi insists he'll fit. Mi tells him that holidays start tomorrow, so she wants to watch him peacefully. She puts her hand on his face and tells him to do the same. Komura feels like it's time for them to take the next step. Later, Mi sends him that photo from the day, and Komura thinks now that Mi has his photo, she won't forget him. When it's time to leave, Mi says don't
don't forget me during the holidays. Komura holds her hand and says he wants to meet her even during holidays. Mie gets very happy and immediately agrees. Actually, when they first met as kids, Komura thought she was silly, so he helped her buy ice cream. Mie tells him that a boy in her class had stolen her glasses, and when she complained to her dad, he said that the boy wants to marry her. Mie then says how kind her dad is and that she wants to marry a boy just like him. Those words got stuck in Komura's mind, and now he wants to continue this romantic friendship just like that.
Friends, if you liked this explanation, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.